Welcome to another Tap In on Tuesdays where we use EFT tapping to help strengthen your authentic creative connection. Today we are going to be tapping on clarity and momentum. These two things go so well together. If you think about having a clear vision of what it is you want, it's like smooth sailing. You're on the water, you're heading in a direction that you want to go in, and every time you have a choice that you have to make or you could be steered a little bit off course, you just say, "Wait a second, I'm going back to my clear vision of where I'm heading and what's the choice I need to make to continue on." So it's very, very, very fun to have an idea and have clarity about it because it's easy to make the choices and take the steps you need to along the way. So, what happens when something comes out of the blue, or seemingly so, or you hit some kind of snag and you don't know how to keep going? Something that I learned years ago when I was first buying RVs. So, I have had two RVs so far. And because my intention with them was to live and travel in them full time, I made a point of getting new tires. And if you're getting a new one, that's not a concern so much, but I was getting used RVs. So I knew that that was one of the most important things before setting off, and I also knew that it was potentially one of the most costly ones because in terms of the chassis, tires for an RV are generally pretty expensive. So I was watching a video on one of the major tire brands website about what to do if you get a flat tire while you're driving an RV. And this has stayed with me, and it's something that I think fits so well with this. If you're driving and you get a flat tire, you do not want to slam on the brakes because when you get the flat, you tend to lose a little bit of control. What you want to do is keep your foot on the accelerator so that you continue the momentum in the direction you are going. Get yourself evened out so that you're in control again, and then bring yourself to a stop. And I was thinking about this, and I thought that parallels so well. So let's do some tapping. Taking full responsibility for your well-being and all of the benefits that you're going to gain from this. I choose to have clarity, and I choose to allow positive momentum in the direction of my desires. I know that when something comes up that seemingly derails me, if I go back to the clarity and I have that momentum in the direction of my desire, that I can figure it out and regain my balance. Let's go to eyebrow point. Clarity helps me know what to do. Side of the eye. Clarity means that I know what decision to make every time I need to make a decision. Under the eye. Because I know what my goal is. Under the nose. Because I know what I need to do in order to achieve that goal. Under the mouth. And it's very easy for me to maintain positive, feel-good momentum, collarbone, when I'm acting with clarity. Under the arm. So that if something happens and I get a little derailed, top of the head, I can go back to my clear vision and regain control. Now we're going to stop for a moment because the word control can be a little bit triggering. And I am not referring to control when you're trying to micromanage and you're trying to control every little detail so that you're not being in the flow. The kind of control that I'm talking about is the kind that naturally comes from having clarity. So when you are steering your ship and you are going in the direction you want and the wind is in your favor and you have calm water, even if you get a little bit of choppy water every now and then, you still are going forward in the direction that you want to go in. But if all of a sudden something hits you like a storm, you need to make the best decision in each moment with what to do and how to proceed. The clearer you are and the stronger your momentum going in the direction that you want, the easier it is for you to continue doing that. And any time that you find yourself getting a little bit off, just think of yourself as having that flat tire experience. It's not that you're completely going to go off the side. You don't have to. You just keep going in the direction that you want a little bit and you bring yourself to a stop if you have to. If you have to regain your balance, if you have to stop for a moment and compose yourself and think about the clear vision that you have, go for it, do it, and then jump back into the positive momentum in the direction that you were headed in. It's sometimes what happens is we get a little bit messy and we just keep spiraling because we don't stop to reconnect with the clear vision that we started with. And that's when things get messy, to be honest. It turns into more of not being the eye of the storm, but being caught in the storm. And that is not fun. And that's just not what the aim is when you're trying to be deliberate and when you understand that the clarity and the momentum are built into each other. And so you can use this tapping and you can use that analogy of what, well, it's not even an analogy, it's an actual example of what to do if you get the flat tire. Literally, don't let yourself completely lose control. It's okay. Compose yourself, regain your balance, stop. Take care of what needs to be taken care of, and then get back on the road. Hopefully, this was helpful. If you want to, go ahead and tap again. If not, and you might even want to continue on it and just like tap about regaining control, regaining balance, regaining clarity, and sync up with your vision again if you start to feel yourself getting off. And be okay with pausing. It's not an emergency situation most of the time where you can't take a breath and just say, hey, what's actually the best decision? How can I respond to this instead of just completely react and freak out? Because you'll have a lot less of a mess if you continue with your clarity and than if you know, give it up and try to keep going. So I will see you next week for another Tap In on Tuesday.